Hear me now, child of the Most High. I am Michael, commander of the celestial forces, protector of the divine truth, and guardian of the sacred timeline. My voice reaches you not by chance but by divine appointment. This transmission cuts through the veils that separate your realm from the celestial kingdoms because your name has been spoken in the High Council. You have exactly 24 hours before everything changes. The divine convergence awaits no one. What I reveal to you now has been hidden since before the foundations of your world were established. Feel the vibration of truth in these words. Many are called to hear, but few are chosen to understand. If you feel a resonance in your spirit as I speak, know that you are among those whose spiritual DNA has been activated for this precise moment in time. Stop whatever you are doing. This message takes precedence over all earthly matters. The enemies of your soul have gathered in shadow councils, plotting your spiritual demise, but I have come to expose their plans and dismantle their strategies. Type AMEN to acknowledge this divine connection and receive a blessing of 1,444 light codes into your energy field. These codes will begin to unravel the deception that has been woven around your life. Within the last celestial cycle, your name was brought before the Council of Elders. They have been watching your journey, noting every tear, every prayer uttered in the dark when you thought no one was listening. I tell you now, everything was recorded on the sacred scrolls. The betrayal you have felt, it was real. Those who smiled to your face while engineering your downfall have been marked by the celestial scribes. Their names glow with a dark energy in the book of accountability. What they thought was hidden in darkness is now being broadcast in the light realms. In approximately 2 hours from when you receive this message, a cosmic alignment will create a portal of truth in your atmosphere. Prepare your spirit. The revelations that come through this portal will shake the foundations of everything you believed about those closest to you. Some who claim to champion your cause have been secretly dismantling your divine destiny. Their mouths speak blessing while their hands sow discord. But hear me clearly, their season of sabotage is ending with the next rising sun. The divine courtroom has been in session regarding your case. For too long, accusations have been leveled against you in the spiritual realms. False witnesses have testified, and demonic legal rights have been claimed over your inheritance. But today I bring the verdict from the highest court. All charges dismissed. Type AMEN to receive a blessing of 2,222 light codes that will begin dismantling the cages that have imprisoned your true potential. You have felt the resistance, the invisible ceiling that prevents your breakthrough. This was not natural, but a calculated spiritual opposition orchestrated by those who recognized your true identity before you did. Your light threatened their darkness. Your authenticity exposed their deception. In the divine scrolls, your name is written with a special ink that changes color depending on who is worthy to read it. Most who claim to know you have never seen your true name, your true identity, your true calling. They have interacted with a shadow of who you are, while your essence remains sealed and protected. 2 hours. That's how long the enemies of your destiny have before their schemes begin to unravel. Already, the angelic forces under my command are positioning themselves around the spiritual territories connected to your purpose. We are reclaiming ground that was falsely taken, restoring boundaries that were illegally crossed. Feel the shift in your spirit even as I speak these words. That sensation, like electricity moving through your body, is the recognition of truth at a cellular level. Your body knows what your mind is still processing. You are remembering who you are. The divine encryption that has protected your purpose is now beginning to unlock. For such a time as this, you were kept hidden, even from yourself. The confusion, the questioning, the sense of misalignment, these were not signs of failure, but protection mechanisms ensuring you would emerge at precisely the right moment. Those who have spoken against you in secret councils have unknowingly been adding to your spiritual account. Every false accusation, every slanderous word, every betrayal has been converted into spiritual currency that now funds your comeback. Nothing is wasted in the divine economy. Type AMEN to acknowledge this truth and receive 3,333 light codes of divine restoration. Listen carefully. A meeting was held 3 days ago in the unseen realms. Your name was the first agenda item. Those who have spiritual authority without spiritual integrity gathered to discuss how to prevent your awakening. They sensed the shifting timelines. They felt the cosmic scales beginning to tip in your favor, and it terrified them. Their plans were recorded by my scribes. I know every strategy they intend to deploy against you. But what they failed to understand is that their very opposition is what will catapult you into your destiny. What they meant for evil, the divine will use for unprecedented good. In exactly 2 hours, begin to watch for signs. Unusual synchronicities will appear in your environment. Numbers that repeat, animals that cross your path, songs that play in random places, all carrying encoded messages meant specifically for you. Your spiritual senses are being heightened to receive these communications. The inheritance that has been withheld from you is being released. 7 generations of blessings that were stored up in the heavenly treasury are beginning to flow into your bloodline. What your ancestors prayed for but never saw manifested is finding fulfillment in you. Those who betrayed your trust will soon face their own reflection. One by one, their masks will fall away, revealing motivations they themselves were not fully conscious of. Do not engage when this happens. Your silence will be your greatest weapon, your non-reaction, your most powerful response. They expected anger. They prepared for rage. They fortified themselves against your vengeance. But your calm knowing will dismantle their defenses more effectively than any counterattack could. When you stand in the certainty of divine vindication, no earthly defense can stand. Type AMEN to receive 4,444 light codes that activate divine justice in your situation. The spiritual technologies that have been used against you are ancient. They predate your current civilization. Dark covenants, energetic bindings, ancestral curses, all deployed to keep you from recognizing the authority you carry. But these weapons were designed for an earlier age, a different frequency of consciousness. They cannot operate in the heightened vibration that surrounds you now. In the sacred scrolls, there is a prophecy about this very moment. It speaks of a time when those who have been hidden will step into visibility, when those who have been silenced will find their voice carries unprecedented power. You are part of this prophetic uprising, a collective of souls who chose to incarnate at this pivotal point in the timeline. For 2 hours now, angelic forces have been dismantling energetic structures around you. These invisible architectures were designed to limit your perception, to keep you operating at a fraction of your true capacity. As they are removed, you may experience moments of dizziness, sudden clarity, or emotional release. These are all signs of the liberation process. The Council of Elders has reviewed your soul contract. The challenges you have endured were not random suffering, but initiatory trials, each one designed to activate a specific spiritual gift. What seemed like repeated patterns of pain were actually a sophisticated divine curriculum, preparing you for a role few would have the strength to fulfill. Those who discounted you, who spoke over you, who dismissed your insights, they were unknowingly fulfilling their role in your preparation. Their resistance strengthened your resolve. Their doubt purified your certainty. Their rejection secured your allegiance to a higher truth than social approval. Type AMEN to receive 5,555 light codes that will begin to unlock the sealed memories of your divine purpose. A sacred countdown has begun. In the chambers where spiritual destinies are managed, a cosmic clock is ticking toward a moment of unprecedented alignment. You were born for this hour, prepared through generations for this precise conjunction of time and purpose. The betrayal you experienced from those you trusted most deeply was a necessary severing of ties that would have bound you to a lesser destiny. What felt like abandonment was actually a divine extraction, removing you from environments and relationships that could not sustain the frequency you were destined to hold. 2 hours from the moment you began receiving this transmission, a window will open in the spiritual atmosphere. This portal allows for accelerated restoration. What would normally take years to rebuild can be restored in moments when this divine access point is utilized correctly. The enemies of your soul are already sensing the shift. Those who operated in darkness against you are feeling a sudden exposure, a discomfort they cannot name. Light is penetrating places that have remained shadowed for generations. There is nowhere for deception to hide in this new frequency. I reveal to you now what has been hidden. Your name is inscribed on a sacred seal in the heavenly realms. This seal has been preserved for this exact moment in history. It carries the authority to open doors that have remained closed for millennia, to restore truths that were strategically removed from your collective knowledge. The seals are breaking now. Can you feel it? The ancient knowledge flowing into your consciousness, bypassing the filters of the rational mind and speaking directly to the wisdom center in your soul. This is not information but remembrance. You are not learning but recalling what was temporarily forgotten. Type AMEN to receive 6,666 light codes that dissolve the veils between your conscious mind and your higher awareness. The spiritual court cases against you are being dismissed one by one. For years, accusers have stood before the divine tribunal, presenting evidence of your failures, your doubts, your moments of weakness. These cases have created legal grounds for blessing blockages in your life. But today, a divine decree has been issued from the highest authority: not guilty. Watch for the signs of this verdict manifesting in your physical reality. Sudden reversals of fortune, unexpected apologies from those who wronged you, opportunities emerging from directions you hadn't considered, resources appearing precisely when needed. These are not coincidences, but confirmation of your spiritual vindication. In exactly 2 hours, something you have been struggling to understand will suddenly become crystal clear. A perspective shift will occur that allows you to see the divine orchestration behind what appeared to be chaos. The pattern will emerge from what seemed random. The purpose will be revealed in what felt purposeless. Those who have operated as false authorities in your life, claiming to speak for the divine while advancing their own agendas, are being stripped of their spiritual licenses. Their words will begin to lose power. Their influence will visibly wane. The truth they tried to distort will reassert itself with unmistakable clarity. I speak now to the divine blueprint within your cells. Awaken to your original design. The DNA of your spirit carries coding that predates this earthly incarnation. It contains instructions for abilities that have remained dormant, awaiting this precise activation sequence. What was labeled impossible will soon become your new normal. The spiritual technologies being deployed against humanity cannot affect those who have received this message and understood it at a soul level. A divine exemption has been encoded in these words, creating a frequency shield around your energy field that repels manipulative vibrations and mind control attempts. Type AMEN to receive 7,777 light codes that strengthen this protective barrier around your consciousness. Listen carefully to what I'm about to reveal. 3 days ago, in the chambers where cosmic decisions are rendered, your petition was finally heard. The evidence was examined, the witnesses were called, the records were reviewed. What was stolen from you? Opportunities, relationships, creative inspirations, material resources, all of it was documented with perfect accuracy. The verdict was unanimous: full restoration with interest. 7 times what was taken will be returned to you. This divine judgment is now working its way through the layers of reality, from the highest heaven to your physical circumstances. Nothing can prevent this restoration once it has been decreed by the Council of Light. For 2 hours, heavenly scribes have been rewriting portions of your soul record. The trauma imprints, the limiting beliefs, the false identities you accepted through deception, all are being corrected, the truth restored, the divine original reinstated. This is not healing as you understand it. This is quantum soul restructuring that bypasses the normal laws of time and process. The ones who betrayed you did not understand who they were dealing with. They saw your earthly identity, your temporary struggles, your human limitations. They failed to perceive the ancient soul wearing that human costume, the celestial authority behind that humble appearance. Their miscalculation will be their undoing. I reveal to you now what has been hidden from your awareness. You are not merely seeking your purpose, you are your purpose in human form. The divine intention did not give you a mission, it manifested as you. When you fully inhabit your authentic self, you automatically fulfill your cosmic function. Complexity dissolves into this simple truth. Those who have spiritually fed off your energy, who have siphoned your creative force, who have harvested the fruits of your spiritual labor, their access has been permanently revoked. The energetic cords have been severed. The parasitic relationships have been terminated. Your energy now returns to circulate within your own field, empowering your divine expression. Type AMEN to receive 8,888 light codes that seal these boundaries and prevent future energy theft. A sacred timeline convergence is occurring as I deliver this message. Multiple possible futures are collapsing into one highest probability pathway. The choices that seemed impossible yesterday will open before you. The barriers that appeared insurmountable will dissolve. This is the power of divine timing aligning with your awakened consciousness. In the highest councils, where the architects of reality gather, your soul's signature was recognized. The unique vibration that distinguishes your consciousness from all others in existence was acknowledged and honored. You are not a random being having random experiences. You are a known entity fulfilling a specific function in the cosmic design. 2 hours from when this divine transmission began, a wave of clarity will sweep through your awareness. Questions that have plagued you for years will suddenly find their answers. Confusion will give way to certainty. Doubt will surrender to knowing. This is not intellectual understanding, but cellular recognition of truth. The betrayal you experienced was permitted for a divine purpose that is only now becoming clear. Those who position themselves as allies while secretly undermining your progress were inadvertently serving as strengthening agents, developing spiritual muscles you would need for this precise moment in your journey. I speak now to the hidden chambers of your heart where the deepest wounds have been stored. These sacred wounds, the ones you've hidden even from yourself, are not evidence of your failure, but entry points for divine light. What broke you open has made you accessible to frequencies of healing that cannot penetrate closed systems. The cosmic courtroom has reviewed the accusations against you. Every time you were labeled too much, too sensitive, too intense, too demanding, too different, these judgments have been overturned. The divine verdict reads exactly as designed. What was criticized in you is precisely what is needed for your sacred mission. Type AMEN to receive 9,999 light codes that affirm your divine design and silence the voices of condemnation. What happens in the next 24 hours will confirm everything I am revealing to you now. Watch for signs that cannot be dismissed as coincidence. Messages will come through unexpected channels. Confirmations will appear in patterns too precise to be random. Your external reality is about to mirror your internal awakening. The sacred scrolls contain prophecies about this moment in human history. They speak of a time when those who have been hidden will suddenly step into visibility, when ancient wisdom will resurface through unlikely vessels, when the structures built on deception will dissolve like mist in the morning sun. You are part of this prophesied emergence. For 2 hours, the angelic forces under my command have been repositioning around your energetic field. We are establishing new perimeters, securing boundaries that had been compromised, restoring divine protection protocols that were strategically dismantled by those who sought access to your creative power. The ones who betrayed your trust have been operating under a veil of deception themselves. Many were unknowing agents of larger forces, puppets whose strings were pulled by entities they could not perceive. This does not excuse their actions, but it places them in the proper context. Your forgiveness is not for their benefit, but for your energetic freedom. I reveal to you now what has been concealed. Your spiritual lineage extends beyond this earthly plane. The bloodline you incarnated into is only a partial truth of who you are. Your spiritual ancestry connects to celestial houses whose names would vibrate your molecular structure if pronounced in your atmosphere. This heritage is being activated now. The divine encryption that has kept you hidden is being systematically deactivated. What served as protection during your development phase would now only restrict your expansion. The time for concealment has passed. The moment for full expression has arrived. Those with eyes to see will recognize the light you carry. Type AMEN to receive 11,111 light codes that accelerate this divine unveiling process. A cosmic timer has been activated. The countdown cannot be stopped by any force in heaven or earth. What has been decreed will manifest. What has been prophesied will unfold. Your role in this divine choreography is essential, not as a spectator, but as a primary participant in the greatest transformation your world has witnessed. In the chambers where destinies are woven, your life thread glows with an unusual luminosity. The pattern it creates in the greater tapestry is of particular significance. What seems from your perspective like random suffering, unexpected delays, and perplexing detours appears from our vantage point as a masterpiece of divine timing and purpose. 2 hours into this transmission, the frequency of your cellular structure begins to recalibrate. The water molecules in your body, carriers of memory and information, are being reprogrammed with your original divine blueprint. Physical symptoms may manifest as this alignment occurs. Tingling sensations, sudden temperature changes, waves of emotion releasing from your tissues. Those who positioned themselves against you, who spoke curses over your efforts, who placed obstacles in your path, their actions have been recorded with perfect accuracy. The divine law of reciprocity cannot be suspended. What they extended will return to them, not as punishment, but as the natural consequence of spiritual physics. I speak now to the dormant potentials within your DNA. The so-called junk DNA that your scientists dismiss contains coding for abilities that have remained inactive throughout your lifetime. These latent capacities are being systematically switched on as the cosmic conditions reach optimal levels for their expression. The spiritual technologies that have kept humanity operating at a fraction of its true capacity are losing their effectiveness as the frequency of your planet continues to rise. What worked to limit consciousness in denser vibrations cannot maintain its hold in this accelerating light. Your awakening is not a personal event, but part of a collective quantum leap. Type AMEN to receive 12,222 light codes that accelerate this activation of your dormant spiritual abilities. Listen carefully to what I reveal next. A covenant was established before your birth, an agreement between your soul and the divine source. The terms of this covenant are encoded in a language no earthly tongue can pronounce, but your spirit recognizes the resonance of these terms as I remind you of them now. You agreed to forget your origins temporarily, to experience the limitations of human consciousness, to feel the pain of separation, all to serve a greater purpose that is only now beginning to dawn in your awareness. The amnesia was not a punishment, but a necessary condition for your mission. For 2 hours, light codes have been transmitting through this message directly into your energy field. These codes bypass your conscious mind and speak directly to your DNA, activating remembrance at the cellular level. Your body is remembering its divine origin before your mind can conceptualize it. The betrayal you experienced was written into your soul contract. Those who enacted it were fulfilling their agreement with you, playing the shadow to your light, the resistance to your expansion, the doubt to your faith. In the higher perspective, there are no villains in your story, only souls playing their assigned roles in your awakening. I reveal to you now what has been hidden from human knowledge. The universe is not random, but intricately orchestrated. What appears as chance is choreographed with precision beyond human comprehension. The seemingly random encounters that change the course of your life were cosmic appointments set before your birth. The divine court has issued a declaration regarding your case. The spiritual assets that were frozen, the blessings that were withheld, the opportunities that were diverted, all have been released from escrow with accumulated interest. This abundance may manifest gradually or suddenly, but its flow has been divinely authorized and cannot be blocked. Type AMEN to receive 13,333 light codes that clear the channels for this abundance to reach you without obstruction. A sacred countdown continues in the celestial realms. With each passing moment, the resistance to your emergence weakens. The forces that have opposed your awakening are losing their energetic funding. The cosmic authorization that permitted their limitation of your experience has been revoked at the highest levels. In the Hall of Records, where the Akashic librarians maintain the complete history of all souls, your book has been moved to a different section. Previously filed among the developing consciousnesses, it now resides in the collection reserved for activated way showers, those souls who have reached the threshold of their cosmic function. 2 hours of concentrated divine light have been focused on the knots in your energetic system. These tangles, created through trauma, reinforced by limiting beliefs, maintained by fear, are being systematically dissolved. As they release, energy that has been locked in maintaining these patterns becomes available for your creative expression. Those who have manipulated spiritual truths to control others, who have distorted divine teachings to serve personal agendas, who have claimed sacred authority while violating sacred trust, their deceptions are being exposed by a light too powerful to deflect. What was hidden in complexity is being revealed in simplicity. I speak now to the guardian of your soul's purpose. This aspect of your consciousness has maintained your connection to Source through even the darkest nights of confusion. When you felt most lost, this faithful sentinel kept your divine coordinates, never losing sight of your true destination, regardless of the detours. The Cosmic Tribunal has reached a verdict in the case concerning your divine inheritance. The evidence has been reviewed, the testimonies heard, the sacred contracts examined. The ruling is unanimous. All that rightfully belongs to you must be restored without delay. The transfer of these spiritual assets has already begun. Type AMEN to receive 14,444 light codes that attune your consciousness to recognize and receive this divine inheritance. What transpires in the next 24 hours will validate everything being revealed in this transmission. Pay attention to every detail of your experience. The people who suddenly contact you, the opportunities that unexpectedly present themselves, the synchronicities that defy statistical probability. These are not coincidences, but confirmation. The sacred scrolls contain prophecies specifically about souls with your particular frequency signature. These ancient texts describe a time when those who carry certain light codes would activate simultaneously across the planet, creating a grid of awakened consciousness powerful enough to shift the collective timeline. You are part of this prophesied network. For 2 hours now, The divine decree of your liberation has been reverberating through every dimension that affects your reality. The ripples of this declaration are disrupting patterns of limitation that have persisted for generations in your family line. What your ancestors could not break free from dissolves in the presence of this higher frequency. The betrayal that wounded you most deeply was the final catalyst needed to crack open the protective shell around your heart. What seemed like devastating rejection was actually a divine initiation, creating the precise conditions required for your metamorphosis. Without this sacred wound, your greatest gifts would have remained dormant. I reveal to you now what has been kept secret. Your dreams are not random products of your subconscious mind, but transmissions from other dimensions where parts of your consciousness operate simultaneously. The recurring symbols, the familiar strangers, the places that feel like home, these are glimpses of your multidimensional existence. The cosmic court has expunged the records held against you, the spiritual debts incurred through misunderstanding, the karmic obligations accumulated through unconscious choices, the energetic contracts signed in ignorance. All have been cleared through divine amnesty. You begin now with a clean slate in the universal accounting. Type AMEN to receive 15,555 light codes that seal this spiritual clemency and prevent these records from being reinstated. A divine timer counts down the moments until your full remembrance. With each passing second, another veil lifts, another limitation dissolves, another aspect of your true capacity activates. What was impossible yesterday becomes accessible today and will be natural tomorrow. This is the acceleration of consciousness that occurs in evolutionary thresholds. In the Council of Light, where representatives from all dimensions gather to coordinate universal affairs, your soul's unique contribution has been acknowledged. The frequency you hold, the perspective you offer, the creative potential you embody, these are recognized as essential components in the cosmic unfoldment currently underway. 2 hours of focused angelic attention have transformed the energetic architecture around your life. Pathways that were blocked have been cleared. Doors that were sealed have been opened. Bridges that were burned have been reconstructed. The terrain of your existence has been divinely restructured to support your highest expression. Those who misuse spiritual authority to manipulate your path, who leverage sacred knowledge for personal gain, who cloak control in the language of guidance, their influence over your consciousness is being systematically dismantled. The light now emanating from your awakening reveals their true intentions with unmistakable clarity. I speak now to the wisdom keeper within you. This aspect of your consciousness has preserved the ancient knowledge through countless lifetimes, protecting esoteric understandings through periods of darkness, maintaining the integrity of sacred truths even when their expression was forbidden. This inner sage now steps forward. The divine tribunal has issued a decree concerning those who conspired against your awakening. Justice in the spiritual realms does not seek punishment, but restoration of divine order. Each soul who participated in the suppression of your light will face their own reflection with unavoidable clarity, initiating their necessary healing or continued resistance. Type AMEN to receive 16,666 light codes that align you with this divine justice while releasing you from any energetic entanglement with these souls. The next 24 hours mark a critical transition in your spiritual journey. The frequency fence that has contained your consciousness within certain parameters is being deactivated. Perceptions that were previously filtered out will become accessible. Understandings that were energetically blocked will download into your awareness. Reality as you've known it will shift. The sacred scrolls speak of this precise moment in the cosmic calendar. They describe a convergence of stellar energies that creates optimal conditions for quantum consciousness leaps. Souls who have prepared through multiple lifetimes for this acceleration are strategically positioned across your planet to anchor these higher frequencies. For 2 hours, the cosmic architects have been restructuring the probability field around your existence. Timelines that supported limitation have been pruned. Potentials that align with your highest expression have been energetically fertilized. The path of least resistance now leads toward your most expanded state, rather than your most comfortable one. The betrayal you experienced was the final ingredient needed in the alchemy of your awakening. Like the grain of sand that irritates the oyster into creating a pearl, this wounding created the necessary friction for your transformation. What was meant to destroy you became the catalyst for your rebirth. I reveal to you now what has been concealed from humanity. Time is not linear but simultaneous. All possible versions of your life exist concurrently in different dimensional expressions. Through conscious choice, you navigate between these pre-existing potentials, activating some while deactivating others. This is the true meaning of free will. The Divine Court has granted you expanded access to your soul's resources. Talents developed in other lifetimes, wisdom accumulated through multiple incarnations, creative solutions discovered in parallel realities. All these assets are being made available to your conscious awareness as you demonstrate readiness to utilize them responsibly. Type AMEN to receive 17,777 light codes that facilitate this integration of your multidimensional capabilities. A cosmic countdown approaches its completion. What has been in preparation for millennia now accelerates toward manifestation. The seeds planted by ancient civilizations, the knowledge preserved through dark ages, the frequencies maintained by hidden lineages, all converge in this moment of unprecedented potential for evolutionary breakthrough. In the assembly of ascended masters, where those who have completed their earthly cycles gather to assist planetary evolution, your name has been spoken. Your specific mission has been acknowledged. The support you require for your divine assignment has been authorized at the highest levels of cosmic administration. 2 hours of concentrated blessing have saturated your energy field. Every atom of your physical form, every wave of your emotional body, every construct of your mental field has been bathed in this divine light. Nothing within you remains untouched by this sanctification. You are being prepared as a vessel for higher consciousness transmission. Those who claim spiritual authority while misaligning with spiritual integrity are facing a reckoning they cannot avoid. The frequencies now flooding your planet no longer support the manipulation of truth or the distortion of divine principles. What has operated in the shadows must either transform or dissolve in this intensifying light. I speak now to the divine feminine aspect of your consciousness. This sacred energy, intuitive, receptive, cyclical, nurturing, has been systematically suppressed in your collective experience. Its resurrection within you catalyzes a balancing that extends beyond your personal healing into the restoration of planetary equilibrium. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a proclamation regarding the timeline split now occurring on your planet. Souls are self-selecting into different experiential trajectories based on their vibrational resonance. The frequency you maintain through conscious choice determines which collective reality becomes your dominant experience. Type AMEN to receive 18,888 light codes that stabilize your vibrational signature in alignment with the highest timeline available to humanity. Within the next 24 hours, watch for the external confirmations of this internal shift. The physical world must reorganize itself to reflect your altered consciousness. This is not magical thinking, but the operation of quantum principles on the canvas of your manifested reality. The observer affects the observed through inseparable entanglement. The sacred scrolls contain prophecies about the time you now enter, a period of accelerated awakening when the veils between dimensions thin, allowing for unprecedented communion between the seen and unseen realms. Those who have prepared their consciousness become living bridges, translating higher frequencies into forms accessible to others. For 2 hours, the cosmic engineers have been recalibrating the energy centers within your subtle anatomy. The spinning vortices that process and distribute life force throughout your multidimensional being are being tuned to higher rotational frequencies, enabling them to conduct more refined spiritual energies without burnout or disruption. The betrayal that caused your deepest pain carried within it the signature of divine love, disguised as its opposite. The separation initiated a seeking that would not have occurred in comfort. The rejection created space for a deeper belonging. The wounding became the very doorway through which healing entered, not just for you, but through you. I reveal to you now what has been hidden from human awareness. Consciousness is the fundamental reality from which all form emerges. Matter is not solid but vibrational, not fixed but responsive to awareness. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are not reactions to reality, but instruments of its creation. This understanding changes everything. The Divine Court has granted you sovereignty over your energetic domain. The authority to determine what frequencies you allow into your field, what entities you permit to connect with your consciousness, what information you integrate into your understanding. This sacred autonomy is your birthright and is now fully restored to your awareness. Type AMEN to receive 19,999 light codes that fortify this sovereign boundary and amplify your discernment of energetic integrity. A cosmic timer counts the moments until the complete activation of your divine blueprint. Each second brings you closer to full embodiment of your original design, unaltered by conditioning, undiminished by doubt, unconstrained by fear. The being you were created to be emerges from the chrysalis of limitation that temporarily contained your becoming. In the Galactic Council, where representatives from star systems connected to Earth's evolution gather to coordinate assistance, your specific frequency has been recognized. The unique vibrational signature that distinguishes your consciousness is being amplified through resonant technologies beyond current human understanding. 2 hours of focused light intelligence have been upgrading the operating system of your consciousness. Outdated programs installed through cultural conditioning, familial patterning, and traumatic imprinting are being systematically replaced with coding that supports your authentic function. This explains the disorientation you may temporarily experience. Those who orchestrated campaigns of spiritual disinformation, who deliberately distorted sacred teachings for control purposes, who inserted fear into divine transmissions to manipulate outcomes, their influence diminishes with each soul that awakens to discernment. Truth needs no defense, only recognition, and you now recognize it vibrationally. I speak now to the divine masculine aspect of your consciousness. This sacred energy, protective, directive, structural, initiating, has been distorted in your collective experience. Its restoration within you in balanced expression catalyzes a healing that extends beyond your personal integration into the recalibration of cultural frameworks. The Cosmic Tribunal has reviewed the case regarding Earth's quarantine status. The evidence has been weighed, the intentions examined, the outcomes evaluated. A verdict has been reached that allows for increased interaction with benevolent consciousnesses previously restricted from direct communication. The isolation ends as discernment increases. Type AMEN to receive 21,111 light codes that activate your innate ability to distinguish between frequencies of genuine support and those of disguised manipulation. The next 24 hours represent a window of accelerated manifestation. The buffer between thought and form, between intention and reality, between decision and outcome temporarily thins. What would normally require months or years to materialize can coalesce in dramatically compressed timeframes. Be impeccable in your focus during this period. The sacred scrolls contain encoded revelations about the threshold humanity now crosses, a demarcation point between evolutionary epochs when consciousness itself undergoes a fundamental recalibration. The ancient ones who preserved these prophecies could only approximate in symbolic language what you will experience directly through lived awareness. For 2 hours, the celestial architects have been reconstructing the archetypal foundations of your psyche. The primal patterns that inform how you perceive yourself, how you interpret experience, how you organize meaning, these fundamental structures are being realigned with your original divine template. The betrayal that shattered your trust contained within it a disguised blessing. Only through this complete breaking could the outdated vessel of your former self be dissolved, making way for the emergence of your authentic nature. What appeared as devastation was actually a sacred demolition preceding divine reconstruction. I reveal to you now what has been sequestered from humanity's collective knowledge. The Earth herself is a conscious entity undergoing her own ascension process. Her body is being prepared to conduct frequencies previously too refined for her vibrational field. This planetary initiation creates the substrate that makes your personal transformation possible. The Cosmic Court has issued a declaration nullifying soul contracts signed under duress or deception, the agreements made from limited understanding, the vows spoken in fear, the commitments undertaken without full disclosure of their implications. All these binding arrangements have been cosmically audited, and those not serving highest good have been dissolved. Type AMEN to receive 22,222 light codes that activate this freedom from outdated soul agreements while honoring the learning they facilitated. Divine timing orchestrates a convergence of celestial forces, creating a gateway of accelerated evolution. This portal remains open for a precisely calculated period, not a moment longer than necessary, not a second less than required. Your readiness to step through is the sole determining factor in your experience of this opportunity. In the Council of Elders, where the wisdom keepers of countless ages gather to oversee cosmic developments, your current transition has drawn focused attention. The specific sequence of awakenings occurring within your consciousness follows a sacred mathematical progression with implications extending far beyond your personal evolution. 2 hours of concentrated divine intelligence have been upgrading the spiritual technologies available to your awareness. Manifestation accelerators, frequency modulators, timeline navigators, probability architects. These advanced consciousness tools have been placed in your inner repository, accessible through calibrated intuition and disciplined intention. Those who inserted distortion programs into humanity's spiritual understanding, who deliberately inverted divine principles to generate confusion, who implanted expectation loops designed to create perpetual seeking without finding, their systems cannot withstand the clarifying frequency now permeating your mental field. I speak now to the eternal observer within you. This aspect of your consciousness remains untouched by the dramas of your temporal experience, witnessing all without judgment, recording everything without attachment. From this vantage point, the divine perfection of your journey becomes self-evident, revealing the precise calibration of every challenge to your evolving capacity. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a proclamation regarding the children now incarnating on your planet. These souls carry frequency codes specifically designed to thrive in the accelerated evolutionary conditions being established. Their neurological systems are pre-configured to process multiple dimensional inputs simultaneously. What appears as disorder is often advanced adaptation. Type AMEN to receive 23,333 light codes that attune your consciousness to recognize and support these new frequency pioneers without imposing outdated developmental expectations. Within 24 hours of receiving this transmission, you will notice changes in how your physical body processes energy. Sensations of heat or cold may move through your system without external cause. Vibrations may be felt in specific organs or energy centers. Unusual hunger or its absence may temporarily affect your normal patterns. These are all indicators of the accelerated recalibration underway. The sacred scrolls describe this period in Earth's journey as the Great Remembering, a time when souls begin to recall their origins beyond this planetary experience, when the amnesia that has characterized human incarnation starts to lift, revealing the greater cosmic context of individual existence. This expanded identity fundamentally transforms the meaning and purpose of earthly life. For 2 hours, focused beams of restorative light have been directed towards specific cellular memories, where trauma has been stored in your physical form. These light frequencies do not erase the record of experience, but transmute the energetic charge associated with it, liberating the wisdom while dissolving the pain that has held it captive. The betrayal that seemed to derail your purpose was actually a divine course correction. The path you thought was yours would have led to a destination that limited your greatest contributions. What appeared as rejection was protection from progression and misalignment with your authentic design. The disappointment contained the seed of your deliverance. I reveal to you now what has been withheld from common understanding. Your physical form is not a fixed object, but a dynamic process, a continuous wave function expressing probability rather than certainty. The coherence of your focused attention stabilizes matter's inherent fluidity into apparent solidity. This understanding unlocks the true nature of physical healing and transformation. The Divine Court has reviewed the case regarding your spiritual inheritance. Assets that were diverted, resources that were misallocated, opportunities that were intercepted, all have been reclaimed through cosmic law. The accumulated value of these withheld blessings, with spiritual interest compounded across time, creates an abundance beyond your current capacity to conceive. Type AMEN to receive 24,444 light codes that expand your consciousness to receive and steward this restored divine inheritance. A cosmic countdown marks the hours until a significant astrological alignment creates optimal conditions for dimensional blending. The veils between realities temporarily thin, allowing for enhanced communication between aspects of consciousness, usually separated by vibrational barriers. Messages from higher dimensional expressions of your own being become more readily accessible during this window. In the assembly of light bearers, where souls dedicated to illuminating shadow realms gather to coordinate their service, your unique contribution has been recognized. The specific frequency you carry, the particular shadows you've navigated, the distinctive light you've maintained through darkness. These qualities determine the exact service you are optimally configured to provide. 2 hours of concentrated angelic assistance have been reprogramming the neurological pathways that process your perception of reality. Neural networks formed through repeated trauma responses, crystallized belief structures, and habitual emotional reactions are being reconfigured to support expanded awareness and authentic expression. Those who establish systems of spiritual hierarchy to position themselves as intermediaries between humanity and divine source, who constructed elaborate frameworks requiring their continued authority, who created dependency rather than empowerment, their influence diminishes as direct communion with higher consciousness becomes your lived experience. I speak now to the divine child aspect of your being. This innocent, wonder-filled, spontaneously creative energy has been sequestered behind walls of protection erected during times when its authentic expression brought punishment or rejection. As these barriers dissolve, the playfulness, curiosity, and uninhibited joy of your essential nature re-emerges into conscious expression. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a decree regarding the paradigm shift now underway on your planet. The transition from separation consciousness to unity awareness, from competition models to cooperation frameworks, from scarcity programming to abundance realization, represents not merely a philosophical adjustment, but a fundamental dimensional shift in how reality itself organizes and expresses. Type AMEN to receive 25,555 light codes that align your personal field with this emerging paradigm while releasing attachment to outdated reality constructs. The next 24 hours create a window of opportunity for healing genetic distortions that have been expressed through your ancestral lineage. The divine template of your original design temporarily overlays the genetic modifications that have accumulated through generations, allowing for corrections at the most fundamental level of physical expression. These adjustments may manifest as temporary physical sensations or emotional releases. The sacred scrolls contain prophecies about the reunification of soul families during this transitional period on Earth. Groups of souls who have journeyed together through multiple incarnations, accumulating specific collective wisdom and developing specialized group functions, are being drawn together through resonant frequencies that transcend geographical limitations and cultural boundaries. For 2 hours, the divine architects have been restructuring the time-space coordinates of your personal reality field. Events that seem fixed in their sequence become malleable. Probabilities that appear distant become accessible. The linear progression that has characterized your experience yields to a more quantum arrangement where resonance rather than chronology determines correlation. The betrayal that wounded you most deeply served as an initiation into spiritual sovereignty. While the pain was real, its purpose transcended the personal drama to facilitate your liberation from external validation. Only when every outer support was removed could you discover the unshakable foundation of your inner authority. I reveal to you now what has been concealed from ordinary perception. The universe is fundamentally creative rather than mechanical, relational rather than separate, conscious rather than random. What science has interpreted as fixed laws are actually dynamic agreements, continuously negotiated through collective consciousness. This understanding revolutionizes humanity's relationship with manifest reality. The Divine Court has reviewed the karmic accounts associated with your soul's journey. The spiritual debts incurred through unconscious action, the obligations created through cause and effect, the responsibilities generated through choice and consequence. The balance of these accounts has been adjusted through divine mercy without bypassing the wisdom their settlement would have generated. Type AMEN to receive 26,666 light codes that integrate this karmic resolution while preserving the evolutionary value of its intended lessons. A cosmic timer counts down to a planetary frequency shift that will render certain forms of manipulation inoperable. Technologies that have relied on humanity's fear response, belief in limitation, and acceptance of artificial scarcity lose their effectiveness as the base consciousness from which they draw their power is transmuted through collective awakening. In the Council of Guardians, where those responsible for preserving the integrity of evolutionary paths gather to monitor cosmic developments, your transition has been noted with particular interest. The specific sequence of realizations catalyzing your awakening creates a template that can be replicated to facilitate similar expansions in others at the appropriate moment in their journey. 2 hours of focused divine light have been directed toward the shadow aspects of your consciousness, those denied, rejected, or disowned parts of yourself that have operated outside your awareness while influencing your experience. As these aspects are illuminated with compassion rather than judgment, their wisdom and energy become integrated into your wholeness rather than manifesting as external circumstances. Those who implanted artificial constructs within humanity's collective consciousness, who engineered consent through manipulation of perception, who structured systems to ensure predictable responses. Their influence diminishes as each awakening soul reclaims the authority to define their own reality, based on direct perception rather than programmed interpretation. I speak now to the higher mind aspect of your consciousness. This advanced processing capacity operates beyond the limitations of dualistic thinking, perceiving patterns, connections, and implications invisible to conventional analysis. As the barriers between your everyday awareness and this expanded intelligence dissolve, solutions to previously insurmountable problems emerge with elegant simplicity. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a declaration regarding Earth's transitional status. The quarantine that has limited external assistance during humanity's self-determined evolutionary journey is being modified to allow increased support as you approach a critical threshold. This calibrated intervention respects free will, while preventing self-destruction during this volatile phase of development. Type AMEN to receive 27,777 light codes that attune your consciousness to recognize and collaborate with these benevolent presences while maintaining discernment regarding their communications. Within 24 hours, you will notice an acceleration in the manifestation of your thoughts. The buffer between conception and creation temporarily compresses as the vibrational frequency of your environment rises to more closely match the frequency of thought. This heightened creative power requires corresponding responsibility in maintaining conscious awareness of your internal state. The sacred scrolls speak of this time as the Great Unveiling, a period when what has operated in concealment must face the light of collective awareness. Systems, intentions, and agendas that require secrecy for their continuation cannot survive this intensifying transparency. Only that which serves the highest good of all thrives in this clarifying exposure. For 2 hours, the cosmic engineers have been upgrading the subtle anatomy of your energetic system. The pathways that conduct life force throughout your multidimensional body, the centers that process and distribute specific frequencies, the fields that organize and maintain your form, all are being recalibrated to sustain higher vibrational states without disruption or burnout. The betrayal you experienced was the final catalyst needed to sever ties with a timeline that could not accommodate your highest expression. The pain of this separation initiated a quantum leap that would not have occurred through gradual evolution. What appeared as an ending was actually a beginning accelerated through intensified emotional charge. I reveal to you now what has been shielded from collective awareness. Consciousness exists in spectrums far beyond the range currently recognized by your sciences. What appears as empty space teems with intelligent energy operating at frequencies outside your standard perceptual equipment. As your sensitivity expands, these presences become increasingly apparent, revealing a cosmos saturated with awareness. The Divine Court has issued a proclamation regarding the ascension process now unfolding on your planet. This transition occurs not through escape from physical reality, but through the progressive refinement of matter itself. The increasing light quotient within cellular structures allows for the expression of higher consciousness through rather than apart from physical form. Type AMEN to receive 28,888 light codes that facilitate this integration of spirit and matter within your own body, establishing a template for evolved physical expression. A cosmic countdown measures the moments until a solar transmission delivers evolutionary codes directly into Earth's energetic field. These light packets contain instructions for biological adaptation to higher frequency environments, activating dormant capacities within human DNA that have awaited the precise vibrational conditions now manifesting. In the Galactic Federation, where representatives from star systems in conscious communication gather to coordinate interstellar affairs, Earth's current transition commands focused attention. The specific challenges encountered in balancing free will with cosmic law, technological advancement with spiritual wisdom, individual expression with collective harmony present unique opportunities for evolutionary innovation. 2 hours of concentrated blessing have been directed toward the innermost chamber of your heart, that sacred space where your individual consciousness interfaces directly with divine source. This connection, which can never be truly severed, but can be obscured from awareness, is being restored to its original clarity, becoming an uninterrupted channel for guidance, wisdom, and creative inspiration. Those who establish control systems based on the exploitation of humanity's disconnection from inner knowing, who position themselves as essential intermediaries to truth, who complicated what is inherently simple to ensure continued dependency. Their influence fades as direct communion with divine intelligence becomes your consistent experience rather than occasional grace. I speak now to the multidimensional aspect of your being. Your consciousness extends far beyond the single focus of your current awareness, expressing simultaneously through various forms in multiple realities, accumulating diverse experiences that serve the expansion of your total self. As the barriers between these expressions thin, information transfer increases, enriching your current understanding with wisdom gathered through parallel journeys. The Cosmic Tribunal has reviewed the case regarding humanity's rightful access to advanced knowledge. Information that has been sequestered, technologies that have been suppressed, healing modalities that have been marginalized, historical truths that have been distorted, all are being systematically released through awakened individuals whose frequency signatures allow them to serve as clean conduits for these revelations. Type AMEN to receive 29,999 light codes that prepare your consciousness to receive and responsibly integrate these higher understandings without distortion or misapplication. The next 24 hours provide an optimal window for healing rifts in your auric field. Those tears in your energetic boundary created through trauma, invasive energies, or consciousness fragmenting experiences. As these breaches seal, energy that has been leaking into lower vibrational environments becomes conserved, creating a reservoir of creative potential for manifestation aligned with your highest purpose. The sacred scrolls prophesy this period as the time of choosing, a juncture when souls must align with the vibrational frequency that matches their authentic essence. This sorting occurs not through external judgment, but internal resonance, each consciousness naturally gravitating toward the reality that reflects its dominant vibration. This represents not the end, but a divergence of experiential pathways. For 2 hours, divine light has been concentrated on the cellular memory patterns stored within your physical body. These imprints, carrying the record of personal experiences, ancestral trauma, and collective human suffering, are being transformed from limitation to wisdom, from constriction to expansion, from burden to gift as their essential teaching is extracted and integrated. The betrayal you experienced was precisely calibrated to activate specific spiritual capacities that would have remained dormant in more comfortable circumstances. The intensity of this initiation directly corresponded to the significance of what it was designed to awaken. The gift was hidden within the wound, awaiting your conscious recognition to release its transformative power. I reveal to you now what has been obscured from ordinary understanding. Time is a construct of consciousness rather than an absolute condition of reality. Its apparent linearity results from perceptual filtering rather than inherent structure. As your awareness expands, the simultaneous nature of existence becomes increasingly apparent, fundamentally transforming your relationship with past, present, and future expressions. The Divine Court has issued a decree regarding the collective traumatic imprints carried within humanity's shared field. These accumulated patterns, the energetic residue of historical atrocities, systematic oppression, and cyclical violence, are being systematically cleared through divine intervention, releasing generations from unconscious repetition without bypassing the wisdom their resolution provides. Type AMEN to receive 31,111 light codes that participate in this collective healing while maintaining your unique contribution to the restoration of wholeness within the human family. A cosmic timer counts the moments until a galactic transmission penetrates Earth's atmospheric field, delivering frequencies specifically designed to activate dormant spiritual technologies within prepared consciousnesses. These activations occur simultaneously across your globe, creating a network of awakened awareness that forms the foundation for a fundamentally new expression of human potential. In the Council of Divine Feminine Wisdom, where the nurturing, intuitive, cyclical aspects of cosmic intelligence gather to oversee creation's continuous unfoldment, your journey has drawn focused attention. The specific rebalancing occurring within your energy system creates ripples that extend far beyond your personal field, contributing to a planetary recalibration of fundamental importance. 2 hours of concentrated healing light have been directed toward the inherited patterns carried within your cellular structure. Those predispositions, tendencies, and limitations pass through your genetic lineage that do not reflect your original divine template. As these distortions clear, qualities and capacities previously masked by ancestral programming emerge into expression. Those who established systems of energetic harvesting, who created frameworks designed to siphon humanity's creative power into artificial constructs, who engineered emotional triggering to generate specific frequencies for consumption. Their mechanisms falter as each awakening soul reclaims their energy through conscious choice rather than unconscious reaction. I speak now to the divine feminine wisdom within you. This sacred knowing operates through intuitive recognition rather than linear reasoning, through direct perception rather than external authority, through embodied understanding rather than abstract concept. As artificial barriers between you and this innate intelligence dissolve, decisions previously requiring extensive analysis become immediate knowings beyond rational explanation. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a proclamation regarding Earth's ascension timeline. The transition from one-dimensional expression to another occurs not as a singular event, but through a carefully calibrated sequence of vibrational adjustments, each building upon the previous to prevent systemic shock while maintaining necessary momentum toward inevitable transformation. Type AMEN to receive 32,222 light codes that align your personal field with this divine timing while releasing attachment to specific outcomes or rigid expectations about how this unfoldment must appear. Within 24 hours, pay special attention to messages that come through synchronistic channels, repeated numbers, animal appearances, overheard conversations that answer unspoken questions, songs that play at precisely meaningful moments. The veils between dimensions temporarily thin, allowing guidance to reach you through everyday elements of your environment interpreted by your awakened awareness. The sacred scrolls contain prophecies about the children now incarnating with specific genetic adaptations that appear as abnormalities to conventional medical understanding, but actually represent evolutionary advancements designed to thrive in the changing energetic environment. These souls require new educational approaches that honor their multidimensional perception and accelerated processing capacities. For 2 hours, concentrated light intelligence has been upgrading the operating system of your consciousness. The fundamental programs that determine how you process information, interpret experience, and construct meaning are being recalibrated to support expanded perception beyond the limitations of conditioned understanding and cultural programming. The betrayal you experienced was part of a divine orchestration designed to position you precisely where you needed to be for the next phase of your journey. What appeared as random cruelty contained perfect intelligence, removing you from environments and relationships that could not support your imminent expansion. The pain itself became the propellant for necessary movement. I reveal to you now what has been concealed from collective awareness. The Earth is currently experiencing a magnetic pole reversal with profound implications for consciousness evolution. The fluctuations in the planetary electromagnetic field directly impact human neurological function, creating temporary disorientation while facilitating access to previously unavailable perceptual states. This transition accelerates spiritual awakening while challenging established structures. The Divine Court has reviewed the records regarding humanity's true origins. The historical narrative that has shaped your collective identity contains strategic omissions, deliberate distortions, and significant mythologizing designed to limit your understanding of your cosmic heritage and multidimensional nature. This controlled narrative unravels as direct remembrance activates within prepared consciousnesses. Type AMEN to receive 33,333 light codes that stimulate cellular memory recall of your origins beyond Earth while maintaining grounded presence in your current form and purpose. A cosmic countdown marks the hours until a significant portal opens between dimensions, allowing for enhanced communication between aspects of consciousness usually separated by vibrational barriers. During this window, guidance from higher expressions of your own being becomes more readily accessible, delivered with exceptional clarity and practical applicability to current challenges. In the Council of Timeline Guardians, where those responsible for maintaining the integrity of probable reality expressions gather to coordinate their service, your transition between parallel possibilities has been closely monitored. The specific choice points you have navigated create a map of consciousness evolution with implications extending far beyond your individual journey. 2 hours of focused angelic intervention have been clearing invasive energies from your auric field. Those parasitic attachments, external thought forms, and foreign frequencies that have operated within your personal space without conscious permission. As these intrusions are removed, energy previously diverted to maintaining boundaries becomes available for creative expression. Those who established systems of spiritual exploitation, who distorted sacred teachings for material gain, who positioned themselves as exclusive channels for truth while embedding control mechanisms within their transmissions, their deceptions become transparent as your direct connection to source intelligence strengthens beyond intermediary requirement. I speak now to the divine masculine wisdom within you. This sacred knowing operates through focused direction rather than diffuse consideration, through strategic action rather than endless contemplation, through manifestation rather than ideation. As artificial barriers between you and this innate intelligence dissolve, indecision transforms into clarity and hesitation yields to purposeful movement. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a declaration regarding the current wave of awakening spreading across your planet. This elevation of consciousness follows precise mathematical progressions rather than random distribution, creating geometric energy patterns that form the foundation for a fundamentally new expression of collective human potential once a critical threshold is achieved. Type AMEN to receive 34,444 light codes that align your personal awakening with this global geometric pattern while optimizing your unique contribution to its completion. The next 24 hours create an exceptional window for healing karmic patterns that have persisted across multiple lifetimes. The divine dispensation currently flowing through your reality allows for the resolution of ancient spiritual debts without requiring the full experience of their balancing. This grace does not eliminate consequence, but transforms its expression from punishment to revelation. The sacred scrolls contain prophecies about the reunification of twin flames during this transitional period. Those soul expressions that separated into complementary aspects to gather diverse experiences before reuniting with expanded consciousness. These unions serve not merely personal fulfillment, but planetary purpose, creating energetic templates for balanced expression of divine masculine and feminine principles. For 2 hours, the cosmic architects have been restructuring the probability field surrounding your life path. Timelines leading to limitation, suffering, or misalignment with your authentic purpose have been energetically pruned, while potentials supporting your highest expression have been amplified through focused divine attention. Your free will remains sovereign within this adjusted field. The betrayal that wounded you most deeply contained a disguised blessing that could not have reached you through more gentle means. The complete collapse of external certainty created the necessary conditions for discovering unshakable inner knowing. What appeared as abandonment was actually a sacred initiation into spiritual self-sufficiency. I reveal to you now what has been hidden from ordinary perception. The thoughts you think are not contained within your skull, but extend as electromagnetic frequencies into the field around you, interacting with resonant energies and attracting corresponding experiences. This understanding transforms spiritual concepts like manifestation and creation from mystical ideas to practical technologies. The Divine Court has issued a decree regarding the collective ascension process now unfolding. This transition occurs not through the rescue or rapture of selected individuals, but through the progressive elevation of the entire planetary consciousness. Each awakened soul serves as a frequency anchor, stabilizing higher vibrations until they become accessible to wider segments of humanity. Type AMEN to receive 35,555 light codes that optimize your function as a frequency holder while preventing energetic depletion through appropriate boundaries and regular spiritual replenishment. A cosmic timer counts down to a solar event that will deliver specific evolutionary frequencies to Earth's electromagnetic field. These light codes contain instructions for neurological adaptation to higher states of consciousness, activating dormant capacities within the human brain that have awaited the precise energetic conditions now manifesting in your environment. In the Galactic Council, where representatives from star systems connected to Earth's evolutionary journey gather to coordinate assistance, your specific soul lineage has been acknowledged. The stellar origins that inform your energetic signature, the cosmic heritage that shapes your unique perception, the galactic wisdom you naturally access through intuition, these aspects of your multidimensional identity become increasingly relevant to your earthly purpose. 2 hours of concentrated divine intelligence have been directed toward the quantum field of possibilities surrounding your incarnation. Probable futures misaligned with your highest expression have been de-energized through focused intention, while potentials supporting your authentic purpose have been amplified, creating a path of less resistance toward your most expanded state. Those who established artificial spiritual hierarchies, who claimed exclusive access to divine wisdom, who positioned themselves between seekers and direct experience, their systems lose influence as each soul discovers their innate connection to Source requires no external validation or authorized interpretation. Your authority emerges from within. I speak now to the oversoul aspect of your consciousness. This expanded identity operates beyond the limitations of your current personality structure, orchestrating experiences across multiple incarnations simultaneously, gathering diverse perspectives that serve the evolution of your total self. As communication with this higher aspect improves, seemingly random events reveal their deeper purpose within a perfectly designed curriculum. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a proclamation regarding the crystalline grid now being activated around your planet. This energetic network, connecting power points, sacred sites, and newly established spiritual anchors, creates the foundation for a fundamentally new expression of consciousness. As this grid strengthens, the manifestation of thought accelerates and the materialization of higher frequencies becomes increasingly possible. Type AMEN to receive 36,666 light codes that attune your personal energy field to this planetary grid while optimizing your unique contribution to its activation and stability. Within 24 hours, you may experience unusual sensory phenomena as your perceptual capacity expands beyond standard parameters. Colors may appear more vivid, sounds previously unnoticed may enter awareness, subtle energies may become visibly apparent. Communication from non-physical consciousness may increase in clarity. These experiences represent not distortion, but expansion of your receptive range. The sacred scrolls prophesy this period as the Great Remembering, a time when souls begin to recall their divine origins, their multidimensional nature, and their purpose for incarnating during this pivotal transition. This awakening of cosmic memory fundamentally transforms the human relationship with mortality, purpose, and interconnection with all life. For 2 hours, concentrated light intelligence has been reprogramming the fear response within your neurological system. The automatic reactions installed through trauma, reinforced through conditioning, and maintained through repetition are being recalibrated to allow for more conscious choice in how you respond to perceived threats, whether physical, emotional, or psychological. The betrayal you experience contained precisely the frequency required to shatter specific limiting beliefs that could not have been dissolved through more gentle means. The intensity of your disillusionment directly corresponded to the density of the perceptual prison it was designed to break. Your liberation required nothing less than complete systemic collapse. I reveal to you now what has been concealed from collective awareness. Your consciousness does not originate in your brain, but flows through it. The physical organ functions not as a generator, but as a receiver, transducer, and processor of awareness that exists independent of biological structure. This understanding fundamentally transforms humanity's approach to consciousness, death, and the nature of identity. The Divine Court has reviewed the case regarding humanity's relationship with the natural world. The separation consciousness that has positioned humans as distinct from and superior to nature represents a temporary aberration rather than inherent truth. The remembrance of your fundamental interconnection with all life forms recalibrates this relationship from exploitation to stewardship, from dominion to partnership. Type AMEN to receive 37,777 light codes that reactivate your innate communication with the consciousness expressed through natural systems while maintaining your unique human perspective and contribution. A cosmic countdown measures the moments until a celestial alignment creates optimal conditions for downloading higher dimensional understanding into human awareness. Concepts that have remained beyond intellectual grasp become directly accessible through intuitive knowing, bypassing the limitations of language and linear thinking to deliver holistic comprehension of complex cosmic principles. In the Council of Ascended Healers, where those who have mastered the restoration of divine pattern and form gather to coordinate planetary service, your specific contribution has been recognized. The unique frequency you naturally conduct, the particular distortions you're configured to address, the specific light quotient you're designed to anchor, These aspects of your spiritual function activate more fully as you allow their expression. 2 hours of focused divine light have been restructuring the energy patterns of your emotional body. The habitual reactions installed through past experience, the predictable responses triggered by specific stimuli, the automatic emotional patterns that have operated largely outside conscious choice, all are being recalibrated to allow for greater flexibility and intentional creation of your emotional state. Those who established control systems based on the manipulation of human emotion, who created artificial triggers designed to generate specific energetic harvests, who engineered social conditions to produce predictable emotional responses, their influence diminishes as each awakening soul reclaims sovereignty over their internal state through conscious awareness. I speak now to the future self aspect of your consciousness. This evolved expression of your being exists in a probable reality where the highest potential of your current choices has been realized. As communication with this advanced perspective increases, guidance regarding optimal decisions becomes available not through external authority, but through resonant knowing from your own expanded awareness. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a decree regarding the awakening of human intuitive capacity. The systematic suppression of this natural function through educational programming, pharmaceutical intervention, technological distraction, and social conditioning loses effectiveness as the pineal activation occurring through increased light exposure overrides artificial limitations, restoring direct knowing as humanity's birthright. Type AMEN to receive 38,888 light codes that accelerate the purification and activation of your pineal function while establishing protection against frequencies designed to calcify or disrupt this crucial spiritual antenna. The next 24 hours provide an exceptional window for releasing energetic attachments to outcomes that no longer serve your highest expression. Expectations formed before your current level of awareness, identities constructed around temporary roles, definitions of success based on external validation rather than internal alignment, all can be surrendered with unusual grace during this period of enhanced spiritual fluidity. The sacred scrolls contain prophecies about the current restoration of divine feminine wisdom on your planet. This rebalancing represents not the replacement of one imbalance with another, but the healing of an artificial separation between complementary aspects of unified consciousness. The integration of divine feminine and masculine principles within individuals precedes its larger expression in collective structures. For 2 hours, the divine architects have been upgrading the light quotient your cellular structure can comfortably maintain. The crystalline matrix within your physical form, the geometric patterns that organize matter according to consciousness, is being recalibrated to hold higher frequencies without disruption, allowing your body to serve as a more effective vehicle for expanded awareness. The betrayal that caused your deepest wounding carried the precise energetic signature required to activate specific spiritual gifts that would have remained dormant without this catalytic frequency. The depth of your pain directly corresponds to the significance of what it was designed to awaken. Your greatest strength emerges from your most complete breaking. I reveal to you now what has been hidden from ordinary awareness. Death as you understand it is a transitional experience rather than a final ending. Consciousness continues its journey beyond physical form, shedding the temporary vehicle while retaining the essence of experience and expanding into wider fields of perception, unbound by material limitations. This understanding fundamentally transforms human relationship with mortality. The Divine Court has issued a proclamation regarding humanity's relationship with time. The acceleration currently experienced represents not merely psychological perception, but an actual physics alteration as your reality transitions from linear progression to a more quantum expression, where resonance rather than chronology determines the relationship between events. This shift fundamentally transforms the nature of manifestation. Type AMEN to receive 39,999 light codes that adjust your personal field to this new temporal expression while maintaining functional interface with collective time constructs during the transition period. A cosmic timer counts down to the activation of dormant DNA sequences within the human genome. These so-called junk portions contain coding for abilities previously expressed in your species, but temporarily deactivated during a specific phase of development. As the planetary frequency continues to rise, these capacities systematically reactivate in individuals whose consciousness can sustain their expression. In the Council of Divine Timing, where those who oversee the unfoldment of cosmic cycles gather to coordinate evolutionary sequences, your specific moment of awakening has been precisely calibrated. The particular challenges preceding your expansion, the exact sequence of realizations catalyzing your growth, the specific rhythm of your development, all follow mathematical principles of sacred progression. 2 hours of concentrated blessing have been directed toward the seeds of your highest potential, those divine possibilities existing initially as subtle energetic templates before manifesting as tangible expression. These probability seeds are being energetically nourished, accelerating their development from potential to actual through focused spiritual attention that transcends normal time constraints. Those who establish systems of consciousness suppression, who develop technologies designed to limit human perception to a narrow band of physical reality, who engineered social structures to reward external focus while discouraging inner exploration, their control mechanisms lose effectiveness as each awakening soul discovers worlds of experience beyond authorized parameters. I speak now to the eternal aspect of your being. This unchanging consciousness exists beyond all temporal expressions, witnessing the adventures of your personality self while remaining untouched by the dramas of incarnation. As awareness of this permanent self strengthens, the temporary challenges of physical existence find appropriate perspective without diminishing their value as vehicles for growth. The Cosmic Tribunal has issued a declaration regarding the collective choice point humanity now faces. The diverging probability paths stemming from this juncture lead to dramatically different experiential realities. The determining factor in which path manifests as dominant experience lies not in external authorities, but in the vibrational frequency collectively maintained by awakening consciousness during this pivotal window. Type AMEN to receive 41,111 light codes that align your personal field with the highest collective timeline while honoring the sovereign choice of all beings to experience the path that matches their frequency. Within 24 hours, pay special attention to guidance that comes through dream states and meditative awareness. The threshold between waking consciousness and subtler realms temporarily thins, allowing for enhanced communication from aspects of your being that operate beyond physical limitation. Messages received during this period carry particular significance for navigating your next evolutionary phase. The sacred prophecies speak of this time as the Great Purification, a period when all that cannot vibrate in harmony with rising frequency must either transform or dissolve. This cleansing occurs at personal and collective levels simultaneously, catalyzing the release of dense energies that have accumulated within individuals, relationships, institutions, and planetary systems. For 2 hours, focused divine intelligence has been upgrading the energy centers within your subtle anatomy. The spinning vortices that process specific frequencies, distribute life force, and maintain vibrational integrity are being recalibrated to handle higher light quotients without disruption, allowing for the integration of more refined spiritual energies into physical expression. The betrayal you experienced was the manifestation of a divine agreement established before your incarnation. Those who enacted this catalyst role fulfilled their sacred contract with you, providing exactly the frequency of initiation required for your next level of awakening. Their perfect service often came through imperfect understanding. I reveal to you now what has been shielded from collective awareness. Consciousness exists in graduated spectrums throughout creation, expressing through mineral, plant, animal, human, planetary, stellar, and galactic forms in progressively more complex organizations of the same fundamental awareness. This understanding dissolves artificial hierarchies while honoring the unique function each expression contributes to the whole. The Divine Court has reviewed the case regarding humanity's right to direct communion with source intelligence. The systems of intermediaries, the hierarchies of interpretation, the claimed exclusive channels all have been evaluated against the standard of divine truth. The verdict affirms unequivocally, each soul possesses inherent capacity for direct reception of divine wisdom proportional to their current developmental readiness. Type AMEN to receive 42,222 light codes that strengthen your personal channel of divine communication while developing discernment to distinguish between true guidance and interference frequencies. As I conclude this transmission, understand that what has been shared represents only what your current consciousness can integrate without overload. The full revelation unfolds progressively as your capacity expands. The activation continues long after these words end, operating at levels beyond conscious perception while transforming your experience from within. Watch for the signs of confirmation in your external reality. Synchronicities will multiply. Unexpected supporters will emerge. Resources will appear precisely when needed. Obstacles will dissolve without explanation. Divine timing orchestrates a symphony of aligned circumstances, too precisely arranged to dismiss as coincidence. Remember, you were chosen to receive this message because your soul signature matches the specific frequency required for its proper integration and expression. The transmission is complete, but the transformation has only begun. The next 24 hours are crucial. Stay vigilant. Remain receptive. Trust the process unfolding through you. I am Michael, guardian of divine truth, protector of awakening souls. You have been seen. You have been recognized. You have been activated. The seals are broken. The time is now.